Hi guys, thanks for tuning in this episode of the Nick Egan Times. On this episode, we have awesome guests. We have Ryan and Nash, from Hot Chelle Rae. Hot Chelle Rae has had an incredible musical career and on an internationally well-known American rock pop band that's had numerous hits. Hot Chelle Rae won the American Music Awards back in 2011. Some of their hit songs include Tonight Tonight, I Like It Like That, Why Don't You Love Me, I Hate LA, and Hung Up. Welcome guys, and thanks for coming to my podcast.
Hey,
thank you so much for having us.
Welcome. How's it all been going over there?
Man, it's definitely not in pure lockdown mode like you guys are in. So we are happy and blessed to be able to, at least be a little freer to travel and hang with each other and work and all that stuff.
Incredible. And how's the pandemic affected you personally and professionally?
Well, it's making it so we have to do this interview like this and not get to see you in person, which is always a bummer. But creatively, it's been good. We've been able to crank out a lot of music and sort of kind of figure out what every other artist is figuring out. And it's how to change your focus and still connect with fans and be putting music out while we all wait for the world to get back to normal. And it allows us to come over and play shows in your neck of the woods.
Yeah, can't wait for you to come down. I love your music. You guys have done amazing with all the songs. So, yeah. All right, let's just jump straight into it. Tell me about the journey, I guess, how you guys actually initially started. So how did you all meet? I know you're from Nashville, that kind of side of things.
Yeah, Ryan and I were in Nashville probably at about 18 years old, doing the same thing. We were both singer-songwriters playing acoustic nights at bars or venues around town and just kind of getting our feet wet with the songwriting life. And we got introduced and we wrote probably a song or two before we were just let's do this as a band. Let's jump on in and, start building this into a real thing. And, it probably took 3 years before we were settled with nobody, in and out, being a little flaky, because keeping 4 or 5 people together doing one thing is just the most impossible cat herding ever. But we wrote great together, have fun making music together, and then had a first album do all right, and then Tonight popped off and sent us around the world and gave us the best lives ever. So
We might have sold the most copies of our first album actually in your neck of the woods. Surprisingly.
Yeah, you're extremely popular down here. And everyone I know loves your music. So you guys, I'm curious. Actually, tell me about those songs. So what was actually the process there, those hits like the Tonight Tonight and I Like It Like That? How did they come about specifically?
We actually recorded Tonight Tonight in kind of a whirlwind. I mean, we were on tour. We had Nash, 2 days in Nashville, maybe even just a day.
Yeah, one of them was a concert that we were playing.
The day I did the vocals and Nash did background vocals on Tonight Tonight, we actually went and played a show in our hometown that night while we were on tour. And it happened really, really quickly. And I remember Nash, we were like, man, this song is really catchy. We didn't know if it was, quite a bona fide hit in our minds yet. And then once we actually got the song back and it was ready to go for radio and mixed and mastered, we were like, oh, okay, I think we might actually have a monster here. And we switched singles in the middle of a single and put it out. And the Facebook videos started rolling in, a little kid singing it, and we kind of knew, we were like, oh wow, this is going to kind of work even virally. And one thing led to another, and we recorded our whole record out in LA, doing 2 sessions a day, both in the morning and at night. And then that's when we got I Like It Like That. And we kind of knew from then that we were like, okay, this is about to be a wild ride.
Yeah, for sure. How was the journey in LA too? How was obviously going from Nashville to LA, I guess, that kind of lifestyle and everything happening there?
Man,
very different weather and very different politics.
It's weird because I don't think either of us got the culture shock that can happen from moving from somewhere very different to LA, just because we worked and created here for so many times before actually moving. And so by the time we moved, it was just we had friends, and like my brother lived here, and I lived here like a little bit before Ryan, and we were going back and forth from Nashville still. So we got the really, really easy version of moving to LA. We didn't have to get in a moving truck and drive across the entire country and do that in like one day or a week or whatever it would be.
Yeah, for sure. What inspires Hot Chelle Rae daily, and both of you, I guess, personally as well?
Good question. I think the most inspirational thing is that we really do truly love making music together. I think there's a lot of bands out there that don't have that luxury. And for us, we have such a good time in one another's company that I feel like it really comes through in the music. And that's kind of like our brand is, feel good, sort of just something that you put your windows down to, whether it's a sad song or an up song. It's like there's really like an earnestness to how much fun we have making this music. And I really feel like making people smile is like sort of our brand.
Incredible. And I guess the music now, obviously I Hate LA, sorry, that you've released versus the older music that you released. How has the industry and everything changed since back then to now?
And I think it has changed more than any of us could have predicted.
Yeah.
It is wild. The way to do it back when we started releasing music and started playing was you try to get some kind of record label to see you, and you hope they like your songs. And if they put it out, you hope people like whatever you picked with them. And now, like, we can go into my living room and make an album in a week if we really wanted to, and like we can release it ourselves. And we shot the video for Do the Damn Thing. The like last thing we put out was all us shooting it, with our own handheld gimbals and stuff, riding around in a Bronco all around LA. And, just the fact that you can do that and make it look professional and be professional as well as the music side, it's opened up so many doors, and it lets us put out music constantly, which is amazing. And if we want to, change our minds right before a single, we can do that instead of working a year and a half on 10 songs and, putting them on a CD that can break and have to put it on a shelf somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, we used to, when we were recording our album, whatever, we would literally like take a shot every time Tonight would jump a spot on the iTunes chart, which is like a very dinosaur phrase. And now it's like, I don't even think you could get a record deal without a TikTok following. It's just a totally different industry. But it has afforded us what Nash said. It's like, it's really nice to be able to sort of be in control of your own destiny and push things how you like.
Yeah, sensational. I saw actually you guys are big with TikTok and the videos. Talk to me about those. I always see them. They're really cool.
Well, Nash has been killing it. Nash has become the TikTok master. But no, we like, TikTok has been really fun for us. It's, I actually find it to be like the least toxic of the social media apps. And it's like actually one that I enjoy. And I find it to be like a great source of joy and laughter. And it's definitely weird to do when you first start doing it. But once you're kind of in it, it's actually a lot of fun.
Yeah, and it gives the fans a really quick and easy way to connect and to react and weigh in and comment and just be more connected to us than a lot of the other social media. So it's definitely fun to see people like messing with our new songs that we post like a sneak peek of. And we put a brand new one up the other day, and I think it's like at 30,000 views or something like that. We're like, okay, cool. So like people like this song. So now we know like when we release it, we're going to have some excitement.
It beats like, a product placement of, a shirtless picture in Tulum on Instagram. It's just a totally much more fun, lighthearted, social media experience.
Yeah, for sure. Totally agree. What are some of the best tours you've done? I know you've obviously come to Australia and New Zealand previously. Talk to me about that. What are some of the best tours that you can recall and experiences you had there?
Well, you're going to set us up to sound
we have been so spoiled.
The live.
Yeah, we're
sound
so
like we're just
spoiled.
full of it. But Australia, New Zealand, I think we're the just all around best time we ever had on tour.
It really was. That was our biggest show ever, was on our New Zealand, Australia leg. We actually headlined an arena for the first time. And I just remember looking at Nash being like, you know, are all these people really here to see us? And like, it just was such a trippy experience. And honestly, like, what I love about the culture too is we didn't realize that we had such a male fan base until we went there, because it's like not as cool to like us in the States, just, you know, based on like, you know, preference of guy, girl, and whatnot. But when we went down there, we were like, oh my gosh, there's a lot of guys here that like actually like us. This is fucking wicked. Like, this is awesome.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, as I said previously, you guys have a massive following down here. Why did you guys take a break too, just out of curiosity, previously?
Oh, you know, the same thing as probably a million movies put into the ether. It's a combo of a few things, but we were creatively getting squashed and getting a little bit pushed into being a very G-rated, you know, band. And we're like, okay, so we are grown adults that have to pretend that we didn't just drink and swear through the whole last record we made, and we're going like more Disney without reason. That combined with the fact that the people that were kind of, you know, keeping us on the safe side and not letting us make the music we wanted, were also legally able to. So we just figured we like, you know, take a break, get out of the deals we were in, explore some other things. And then when the deals were like really finally done, we started writing songs together again. And like right away, it just felt amazing.
Yeah, for sure. What do you guys like to do aside from the music side? So what are you guys' hobbies and passions aside from music?
I love to cook. I love to golf, and recently I have taken up surfing. So I've been surfing a bunch, and it's been awesome. It's nice to get out of LA and go to the beach and do that kind of thing. But I mean, other than that, man, we like to make a lot of music. I mean, Nash works like 24/7. He's literally always making something.
I love making music for sure, but I love to travel and, you know, go out and hang with friends. I have game nights. There's so many of our friends, especially in this last year of the pandemic, where you've got your, you know, small clusters of people who hang out with each other. And just socially, like, having that has been incredible. And, you know, there's tons of things we do together or nothing at all. And it's been really great and special to have crews and friends like that.
Awesome. And what are you guys working on at the moment, musically? So what projects?
Man, we just got 4 songs mastered last week, I guess.
Yeah.
So we're doing artwork for those right now, and we are so excited. Personally, Ryan, you know, differ with me if you want, but I think this is the most exciting 4 songs we've had together in a really long time, and we're just so amped to drop them on the world and, you know, share them with everybody.
Yeah, I totally agree. I'm with him. It's every artist says it's like their best music or whatever, but I think this is just the most Hot Chelle Rae stuff we put out, and I'm so excited about it.
Wow, I'm excited to listen to them too. Can't wait. And definitely the fans down in Australia, and I guess the rest of the world is excited to hear them as well. So yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and if you want to hear a little snippet of it, we put up one of the singles that's coming out called "Stupid Song" on our TikTok. We put a little preview of it up there, and you can listen to it. And it's pretty exciting. Yeah,
for sure. I'll definitely do that. Where do you guys see the future for Hot Chelle Rae going? Say, for example, the next 5-10 years. Where do you guys see it? Where do you guys see yourselves going?
It'd be really nice to play a concert.
Yeah.
Which is where we would see ourselves right now about a year and a half ago. But man, we're just really kind of finding another stride and a new version of our own sound, and like really kind of feeling good stepping into that. Who knows what the next 5 years could be, but it would be so great to just be back in the flow of touring, releasing stuff, having worldwide smashes that get us to vacation and call it work in our favorite places. And, just be doing it with each other, which are our best friends. So it's fingers crossed over here for the world to get healthy and safe and back to normal ASAP.
Yeah, for sure. What's the best piece of advice you both have received?
Man, that's a good question.
Oh my gosh. That's a really good question. And
I got a piece of advice really early on, and so did Nash, from one of our previous managers. And it's very simple, but it's sort of like a dad mentality with their kid. They said to, you get offered all these different things in your life, and it's hard to make decisions business wise, or, when you're trying to like navigate through something. And he told us, he was like, man, no is the most important word to be able to readily use in the music industry, because you can always get to yes. And it's really, really important before you commit to any and everything to know that, that you don't have to do everything. And sometimes as artists, you feel like you have to do everything. You have to answer every tweet, answer every Instagram comment, and answer, this and that and the other. And it's just really, really important to like, have that so you maintain some mental clarity.
Yeah, for sure. Nash, yourself?
I think, and I can't remember exactly, so I have to paraphrase, but don't rush. We've all been pressured to feel like we're going to miss an opportunity if we don't hurry up and say, like Ryan was saying no or say yes. But doing something, being pushed and rushed, can make you feel like you're going to lose the chance. But a lot of times, you're making that move out of fear, or kind of a threat that if you don't, then we'll pull the plug or something. And if something's going to be great and something's going to be done right, then you're always going to be given the time and space to do it correctly and properly. And, we've been really fortunate in a lot of times where we could have had bad attorneys or bad advice from parents and friends and anything in between. And we've avoided some of the worst, crazy stories that I'm sure we could easily have been a part of. And, we've been fortunate to work with really great people who have had our backs and not messed with us too much.
Awesome. What are some of the coolest and funniest stories that you can share, that you can recall?
Man, some of the coolest stuff, like I didn't even do it, but everybody else in the band like rappelled off the tower in New Zealand, I think, right, Ryan?
Yeah.
I was somewhere else and I didn't have any interest in climbing up that thing, but like we go snowboarding for like a MTV performance. We've gotten to shoot videos that are just so much fun. There's just so many opportunities doing music has given us and put us in. Like going to Japan is always one of my favorite trips ever, and it doesn't get old. And we did an amazing trip with like 12 or 13 people last like 4 years ago in October.
Yeah.
And like me and Ryan got tattoos there. We rode go-karts around with the whole crew. We went and saw Mount Fuji.
Oh, nice. I can see it.
Yeah, it's Mount Fuji.
Like, that trip was also just like another fire under us to start the band back up in full swing, because we did a meet and greet and a secret show at like, I think noon in a little club, and it was packed. We only played like 2 songs, and the fans surrounded the car when we were leaving the place, and we're like, okay, we really need to, give Hot Chelle Rae like all the fire we can again. And it's way too much fun, and people are loving it way too much.
Wow, that's amazing. Nash, Ryan, thanks for coming on my podcast. I do appreciate it. Your music's incredible. What you're doing now is amazing. Can't wait to hear the new music you got out. And just wish you all the best on the trajectory you're still on and you're going.
Dude,
well,
thank you.
Man, we appreciate that and cannot get there soon enough. And we mean that wholeheartedly. It's we miss it big time, and we really appreciate you taking the time.
Yeah, for sure. I can't wait for you boys to come down. You'll have a good time.
Let's go.
Yeah.
See you, boys.
All right, see you.